So welcome to this part of the video. In this part of the video, I'm going to be taking a look at using the editor in order to create a code to send to the students to finish off. Okay, the one thing I would say about this is an option. You do not have to do this every time. You could just ask the students to start creating the code, and as we've seen in the previous section, you can view that work happening live. But as I said, this option is available to us where we can create a code and maybe leave some blocks out of it and ask the students to finish it off. So in order to do that, I'm just going to click up here on the editor option on screen. And once I do that, I'm taken to the basic home screen that I would be used to using MakeCode. On the left-hand side is the simulator, as we'll always see that on MakeCode. In the center here, I've got all my coding tabs, which have all the blocks that I would use as normal. And over here on the right is where I'll create the code. The code that I'm going to create is quite a simple one. It was used on the engineering CPD day this year. And what does that do? Very simple. It's the crossing the road activity, which is module 1, activity 2, where we're going to press a button, and on pressing the button, we're going to set off the code, which will be a countdown timer, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once that happens, then the indication was to come up on screen for somebody to cross the street, and then pause for a couple of seconds, and then indicate to someone coming from behind to stop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create that code very simply just by clicking on the input option, which is where I press the button A. Then I'm going to click on basic here, and I'm going to go to show number and continue to add in a couple of those blocks in order to create 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now if you remember from the CPD day, if you've engaged with it so far, we right click on some of these blocks here and they allow us to duplicate or recreate them on screen rather than going back to home here all the time. So all I'm going to do is, as I said, I need to set down a countdown timer of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm just going to change the numbers by clicking on the zeros in this section here. And I've created my countdown, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, if you've not engaged with the session, I'm just going to finish this off just so you can see it first. And then I'll show you what I'm going to do for the students. So after that, I want to tell somebody to cross the street. So I'm going to go to show string. And show string allows you to send a text or scroll a text along the microbit screen on the left. So I'm just going to click on the hello. And I'm just going to put in the word go and tell somebody to cross the street. As I said to you, the activity on day was to stop for 2 seconds after saying go. So I'm going to include a pause, which once again is available here on the basic tab. And as I said, I'm going to pause it for 2 seconds. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down here to the very bottom. Apologies, it's in the middle, and I'm going to show an icon. And this icon will be just an X to indicate to somebody after 2 seconds to stop crossing the street. Okay, this was the solution we presented on the CPD day, but it's key to say that this is not the only solution for this activity. You can create it in many different ways, but for our activity, that's what we did. I'm going to test it up over here on the simulator so you can actually see what the students would see when they press the simulator. So as you can see, the countdown is happening. Go scrolls on screen, pause for 2 seconds, and then that X comes up. So what I want to do, or what I'm going to set the challenge for the students in the classroom here, is I'm going to delete the last section of the text, and I'm going to send this to all the students saying, show the number 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm going to ask them then to finish it off. Now, unfortunately, there's no way for me to send a text or send a message to the students within Microbit Classroom. So in order to set the premise for them, I might actually just send an email saying, if you check your Microbit Classroom here, this is available to you. I would ask you to finish it off this way or this way or this way. Another option in order to send a message to the students you could use is basic and the string. And as we can see on screen, string is where you'd involve some text. So I'm just going to click on hello. I'm just going to send a message to the students here by saying, finish this off and create a message for people to cross the street. Now, I can continue to keep typing here. I'm just going to put in some random letters. And as you can see, unfortunately, it scrubs off to the side of the screen. Unless the student is aware of what to do, they would need to scroll across here using the little taskbar at the bottom. So what I'm going to do again is I'm just going to create a second show string just to make it look like it's part of the same paragraph. So finish off this message here, or finish off this code, and create a message for people to cross the street. And then I'm going to put in here another show string afterwards and say, after 2 seconds, tell people not to cross. So that is my message I'm going to send to the students along with this text, okay? Now, as I said to you, unfortunately, I cannot write a comment or put another way of doing it. So two options for myself is to put it in the email to the students, notifying them that the code is available online in the Micro:bit Classroom, or write it as you can see on screen using show string. Now, in order then to send this to the class, very, very simple. All I'm going to do is just click on this button, and as you can see here, the code has been shared with your class, and it will appear when they access the classroom. Okay, so that is the end of this video, and that is how to create a message or code on Editor and send it off to the students in order to interact with it. We will see what it looks like for a student when they join the class in the next video.